Denver's women's soccer team now has a new name, Denver Summit FC, and they're on track to have their own new stadium built just for them, with Denver taxpayers funding the surrounding infrastructure. Our Spencer Soysher looked into whether a standalone stadium like this is unusual for a team in that league.
So I'm introducing our brand identity for the first time.
Since before their team even had a name, the owners of the now Denver Summit FC were very clear.
The ownership's investment in this team is contingent upon us building the stadium.
But is there a good reason the new women's soccer team can't play at Dick's, where the Rapids play in Commerce City?
And I think what the team was looking for and what we're looking for is to do stadiums very differently. We are not looking to do stadiums with 50 acres of parking lots around them and nothing else.
That stadium is not in Denver, but Denver and Boston are slated to have teams playing in the National Women's Soccer League in 2026. Currently, there are 14 teams in the NWSL. 11 of them share a stadium with a men's MLS team already in their market. 2 NWSL clubs don't have an MLS team nearby to share with: the North Carolina Courage in a Raleigh suburb and Racing Louisville FC in Louisville. But both of them share with men's teams in the USL, a minor leagues for men's soccer in the U.S. That means before Denver and Boston join, right now the league has only one NWSL dedicated stadium: Kansas City. But the funding for Kansas City's Women's Soccer League stadium is drastically different than Denver's. Kansas City's owners paid $117 million for this stadium that opened last year. The only public money used was about $6 million in state tax credits. Kansas City didn't have any land acquisition costs. The owners are leasing the land from a public agency that already had the land. And that's the big difference. Denver's owners say they'll pay for the stadium, $150 to $200 million. But the city of Denver plans to pay $50 million for the land at Santa Fe Yards, which will be leased by the owners. And the city will also pay for another $20 million in infrastructure improvements around it. The Denver owners paid $110 million to the league in an expansion fee. Boston, who's coming in with them, paid about half of that. Like Boston, Denver also has an MLS team. But this is something. Boston is planning to renovate a high school stadium to accommodate their new women's team, but local reports there say it's going to cost Boston taxpayers more than $90 million for a renovation, while taxpayers here in Denver are getting a new stadium for less than that.
I think this is all really interesting stuff, Spencer, right? Because you'll hear him say, like, hey, this is just the cost of doing business. You got to do this or else we're going to take the team somewhere else. And the minute that you stop and say, well, actually, do we have to spend that money? Then some people try to shut you up with questions like, why do you hate women's sports? It's like, no. Anytime we're spending tax money, we can ask questions about it. It really is interesting to look around the country, look around the league, and see how Denver compares.
Right, someone so similar to Denver in a sense. And Boston actually had a team that folded a couple of years ago. They're coming in now with Denver. But taxpayers here are footing a pretty large bill, and then you see someone like Kansas City, whose co-owner happens to be Patrick Mahomes and his wife, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. They didn't exactly require the taxpayers there to pay much.
Sure. It's interesting stuff. All right, appreciate all the legwork on that. Thank you, Spencer.